There are places where the line between the living and the unseen is thin, where the breath of the wind carries judgment and the silence of the forest feels sentient. In the mountains of the Caucasus, where fog drapes over stone peaks and rivers, carved deep through the valleys, the old people used to whisper of spirits, not angels, not demons, but beings that lived in both worlds. Those who could bless your crops or crush your bones with a single unseen breath. They called them Djinim. Welcome back, witches and wanderers, to the Morbid Witch Podcast. I'm your host, Kari, and tonight we journey into the spiritual heart of the Vainakh people, the ancient Chechen and Ingush tribes of the North Caucasus, to explore the Djinim, the mysterious spirits who embody both creation and destruction, neither good nor evil, neither angels nor devils. They are balance incarnate. To understand the Djinim, we have to return to the beginning, before Islam, before Christianity, to a world where mountains, rivers, and fire itself were alive. The Vainakh people believed that every force in nature carried a spirit. Some were fierce and elemental, like Toshorli, goddess of fertility and forests, while others were unpredictable and dangerous, like the Elta, who brought disease and misfortune. But the Djinim, they were different. They were not gods, not exactly. They were manifestations of balance, existing between light and shadow, watching over both the living and the dead. Their name, Djinim, likely shares roots with the word jinn, though they are not the same. The Vainakh Djinim were never servants or tricksters. They were autonomous, ancient forces of the land itself. Imagine them as the breath of the mountain, invisible, powerful, and impartial. For the Vainakh, to live in harmony meant respecting the Djinim. You didn't cut a sacred tree without offering something first. You didn't pollute the river without apology. Every action had consequence, and if you disrespected the balance, the Djinim would answer. In many Vainakh tales, the Djinim aren't malicious, they're just. They maintain the order of things. If a shepherd lost his way and called to the mountains, a Djinim might appear in the shape of a pale light, guiding him home. But if that same man mocked the spirits, spat in the river, or cut down too many trees, the Djinim might lead him astray, until his voice was swallowed by the night. The Djinim were seen as beings of choice. Their behavior mirrored your own. The righteous might receive their favor, good harvests, strong children, safe passage through storms. The greedy or cruel might wake up to find their fields frozen, or hear footsteps pacing outside their door when no one was there. They were a reflection, the moral echo of human behavior. In that sense, the Djinim represent the gray morality that runs through Vainakh spirituality. There are no perfect heroes, no pure villains, only humans and the spirits that mirror what lies within us. Many elders described them as invisible presences, but sometimes they appeared in forms: a flicker of light in the dark forest, a mist that moved against the wind, or the fleeting shape of a person half seen through snow. They could protect your home, or bury it in silence. Vainakh oral tradition speaks of countless encounters with the Djinim. One story tells of a woman who went to fetch water late at night. The moon was full, the forest alive with wind. As she dipped her bucket into the stream, she saw her reflection, but it smiled back a heartbeat too late. When she returned home, her family said she was never quite the same. They said she'd been touched by a Djinim, her eyes always watching something no one else could see. Another tale tells of a traveler who entered a sacred grove, ignoring the warning signs. He built a fire and cooked his meal. When dawn came, his fire was still burning, untouched by time. But the traveler was gone. The villagers said he'd been taken by the forest spirits for his disrespect. Yet there were also stories of kindness. A lost child found her way home after following a light through the fog. A hunter's arrow, meant for a wolf, was deflected by an unseen hand. These were the merciful acts of the Djinim, spirits that protected those who walk with reverence. To this day, some Chechen elders still leave small offerings near springs or mountain tops. Not because they fear the Djinim, but because they remember. The Djinim aren't just folklore, they're philosophy, living metaphors for harmony, duality, and consequence. In Vainakh belief, balance isn't just a natural law, it's spiritual justice. The Djinim don't punish out of anger, nor reward out of pity. They restore equilibrium. If nature is disturbed, they act. If peace is broken, they answer. And in that sense, they remind us of something deeply human, that we too are capable of both creation and destruction, of light and shadow. The Djinim are not gods to be worshipped. They are mirrors to be understood. So next time the night feels heavy, when the forest breathes just a little too close, and the wind seems to call your name, remember the Djinim. They are neither your enemy nor your friend, only the reflection of what you bring with you into the dark. Thank you for joining me tonight on the Morbid Witch Podcast. If you enjoy these journeys into myth and mystery, consider following, sharing, or leaving a review. It helps the show and keeps the stories alive. You can follow me on TikTok and YouTube for more spooky tales. Until next time, stay strange, stay spooky, and remember, the shadows are always watching.